Shady Spring High School head coach Ronnie Olson, players Chase Lilly, Kobe Dillon, and Gabe Short. Coach, appreciate your time. Some thoughts of the team.
Let's look at the cards.
Okay, let me get your card.
Oh, I knew we had cards.
That's me.
Just opening comments,
Okay.
Coach.
First of all, I want to say, North Marion, they're a really good team. Coach does a good job. He's, a friend of mine. I really think fondly of him. He, we had Cam Ann's son had cancer. I mean, his brother had cancer a couple years ago. We played him. They did fundraiser for him, and even after the season, checked on him at WU Hospital. And I think the world of him. I think he does a good job. I think North Marion had a hell of a team. I think Shady Spring has a heck of a team. But so they did a good job. It was a well-fought game. We wound up being 2 points different on the box score, but they did a good job. And my guys, gave me everything they could. They gave our school everything they could, and we just fell short. It just sucks to lose, be on the other end of that like that, and lead the whole game. And but credit to North Marion, they did a good job.
You talk about not being able to handle that pressure in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
They really turned it around right there.
They did a good job at changing up their pressure. I thought we did a great job with their run and jump, their man pressure, and they went to a zone press there, and it gave us a little fits, and we turned the ball over. Nothing we haven't seen before. That was the big spurt in the game. I felt like won and lost us the game because you can't turn the ball over. There were live ball turnovers and led to their points. I think we had 10 turnovers and 3 in the first half and 10 in the second against a team that predominantly presses, run, and jumps. And I thought, we did a heck of a job versus their pressure. It just that little spurt there where we couldn't get the ball up the floor. They did a good job. I felt like I could have done a better job as a coach. I missed a timeout maybe there. But we probably could go back and watch film and see things open. But they did a good job making an adjustment, and we didn't score off of it, make them pay.
On the last play under the goal, take me through what you were hoping to get. Was that the shot that you wanted?
Yeah, it was. We called 3 different plays in a matter of 5 seconds. But, Kobe said, let me shoot the 3, win a game. And I felt it was fitting. We had another play called to tie the game. But he got it. I mean, I don't know. For a kid that's dominated the game like that, he had 22 points. He got a pretty good look at it. So I know he says, my fault, got to make that, but I mean, that's all you can do. We had an open look at it to win the game, and the feeling would have been flip-flopped. But we had a look, went in the corner, went to Kobe, and decided to try to win the game right there.
Kobe, what was your view of that final play?
Yeah, they had definitely made a run at us, and we had a really good first 3 quarters, I guess you could say. We were up 8 points, I think, going into the fourth quarter. So they had a little run and definitely knew that we wanted to win it and not go for the overtime as well. A couple guys were in foul trouble. But I got a decent look at it, just missed it short, though.
Coach, they only had 3 turnovers. What makes it so hard to kind of force it into mistakes?
Yeah, and they do a good job. I thought he did a good job coming out of half. It changes things offensively. We're not the same team as we've been. We're really a grinded out half-court defensive team, so we're not going to create turnovers a lot. We can generate them at times, but we're more of a one-and-done type team. We force the ball where we want, and we clean the glass, and we limit teams to one shot. I thought we did a good job of that, except on the last possession. They hit the glass and got a tip in. Our plan wasn't really to turn them over as much because they got 5 guys that can go downhill on us, and we got young guys that are just learning our defense still, and we got bigs trying to learn. We switched so many things to learn to guard. So they got a great team. They got one of the best offenses in AAA. I thought our guys did a great job defensively. He just came up short on them.
Talked about still learning defenses. They got a couple of, I think they had 5 threes in the second half, and each of them seemed like gut shots. Can you just talk about what we felt like happened on the perimeter?
I mean, they were shots. We've it was kind of the game plan to we didn't want to give up the drive because we thought they were a really great team at driving and kicking and creating for others. They drive more to create other shots for other guys. But they pinned us down a couple times in the corner and we didn't talk. We got caught up in some traffic. And sometimes when we were there, we didn't always put a hand up. But credit to them. They made some tough threes, you know, and you can't do everything. You can't guard out tight on the perimeter and not give up drives. You know, with a team, sometimes when you feel like you're outmatched at the speed position. I thought our guys did a heck of a job executing the game plan. I just fell up a little short, but they hit some big shots there, and that's what good teams do. Gabe hit a big shot. That's what good players do. Kobe hit some big shots. Jace did. Cutter, Jace Bailey. That's what good teams do. It's a heck of a game. It felt like a state championship type game. You know, it was a good game. We'll be back. We got our whole team minus obviously Special Kobe back. I mean, he's a great player, but it's a good learning experience for my young guys as well.
Ronnie, it's first action for Eli Sexton in 9 games. What do you think he gave you tonight?
Played really good. We knew I was going to play him versus Greenbrier East, but I felt like we didn't really need him. Gave us a great spurt there. Gave us some big buckets, some good defense. Took a charge. Didn't he take a charge in there? You know, still a little winded, but he gave us everything he had coming off that injury like that. So to be in the position we're in, we've had a tough season. You know, we've had some things happen at the beginning of the year. We've had some injuries. We've been down. People have doubted us, which is fine, and we don't listen to what people say. It's not something I tell my guys. You know, you don't care about the noise if you don't turn the noise on. You know, people on social media and outside of your you know, your immediate family or your corner. You know, if there is no noise if you allow it to be noise. So they did a good job of not letting the noise come inside of our locker room, and they're a tight-knit group. You know, there's been a lot of things that, you know, people doubted us and said things, and they've continued and right on the course, and I'm proud of them. It was a tough game, lost by 1 possession. We can be in here hooping high and high-fiving, but we didn't. It was a good game, and someone had to lose, and you know, it's not for lack of effort, and that's all we can ask for. It sucks, but here we are.
You mentioned just, and I think I heard you during the game, telling your players like to talk more to each other. Is that something just a mental thing for you guys, or is that something like North Marion's like pushing the pace?
It's just what our whole defense is predicated on. It's everything, because North Marion in itself does a heck of a job with their sets. They continually push you, read and react and screen and open, and they're a really smart team. You know, they play a lot of juniors. They know the game, but you know, for them to be freshmen, sophomores, and playing in there, they did a good job of, you know, dealing with a team that's really good on the offensive end. So that's really big for us. Communication's key, and we, you know, especially with a team that presses, we put that up on the board. Communication was going to be big on both ends of the floor. So it's also, you know, life lesson. You got to communicate if you want things, and if you want a job, or you got to speak up and talk.
Gabe, can you take us through the three-pointer, the top of the key? I think, if I'm not mistaken, Baldwin's maybe went for the steal, and after he did, and you got the look there, it was a pretty clean one.
Yeah, Kobe just got doubled, and I thought he was gonna get the pass, but it just came to me, and I just shot it. Didn't really think about it. I just shot it.
58% shooting from the floor and 80% from the free throw line. Just talk about the offensive efficiency, because that's really efficient by any standards, much less a state quarterfinal game.
You know, and who would have thought that we'd be this good on the offensive end at the beginning of the year? You know, we look like a bitty-buddy team at the beginning of the year. You know, mishmash of guys that have never played together, and you know, for them to come and execute on the biggest stage the way they did sucks, because it's going to hurt more when we walk out of here. You know, my head's held high, but you know, efficiency-wise, they've executed the heck out of the ball. We did enough to win the game. It just sucked. We had a little lapse there, and we lost the game.
You've been in a lot of these tournaments.
Yeah.
This field seems as deep as it's ever been.
Yeah.
Kind of speak to that.
Absolutely. I mean, I said it before the tournament started. As a fan, this has got to be. I think people say, "Oh man, what a field!" But I really felt 1 through 8 could win the game. I bet you could probably talk to Coach Napier or any of those guys and say who can win it, and you could probably circle Shady, Chapmanville, North Marion. You could probably any of those teams. You know, I don't know that I'd have a preferred matchup in the first round that I'd want personally. So you know, we didn't care if we played North Marion. We didn't, but they're all good teams, and you know, it's probably the way that the tournament's going to go with AAA. More today, and then later on to the week. It's a heck of a field. I mean, and you look at a lot of these rosters; they're all young players too. So you know, next year it's going to be the same thing. A lot of young teams, a lot of good players in West Virginia. AAA, I felt, is the toughest classification. You know, in the state of West Virginia, probably AA coaches would think theirs is, but I don't think it's comparison. Heck of a lot of teams. You got to come out and play every day. We did that. It just you sometimes win close games. I've been on the other end of them, and I've been on the other end of close games, and winning them, and then I've been on the other side of losing them, and it's, you know, like I told them before the game, I said, guys, it's peaks and valleys. You've got to be able to deal with the ups and downs, and they did that, and you got to be able to deal with it on the other end. You know, you put in perspective what we've accomplished this year. It's pretty special, and we don't play for first round exits, but I'm proud of my guys.
And David, Jace, you guys are one of the youngest guys to play here for Shady Spring. Just gotta talk about like just your experience here, and then just the momentum to come back to this stage heading into next season.
I feel like this definitely is going to help us for next year because we've been here before and we're going to be here again next year. And I think we'll go further than this year too.
Yeah, same with that. I think we're going to be back here next year. It's a really growing season for me, and it's been good.
Any further questions? All right, guys, thank you all very much.
Thank you,
Congratulations.